Hey guys, this is Tu. Welcome to the Fang Real Estate Show. I know it's been a while, but I was moving and all that stuff. So now we're back, and we got a bunch of guests lined up. Today's guest is awesome because I just want to be like this guy when I grew up or grow up. Um, and so I'm very happy to be able to have him on the show and bring any information that he has to all of us and share all that information that he's done and everything like that. So um, with that said, if you guys can, again, the point of this show is really for us, all of us to kind of share information, all the knowledge, all the experiences that, all the experts and everybody that's out on the field that are investing, especially in real estate, share all the knowledge that they gain and, to just help each other out in the community. So if you guys can, do like, if you're watching this on YouTube later, like, share, comment below. If you're watching this right now on the Facebook live stream, go ahead and share, let other community members know as well. All right, so with that said, why don't we get started? Fong, why don't you kind of introduce yourself and, like a 30-second introduction, who you are and, how you got into, this real estate game.
Yeah, man. First off, I just want to say thanks too. Thanks for having me on the show, man. I appreciate it a lot. I know I've been following you for quite a while now, but just haven't had a chance to get on the show with you. Appreciate you having me on the show. But yeah, my name's Fong fonglor from Hickory, North Carolina, and I've been doing it in real estate about maybe I would say probably 5 or 6 years now. So I just kind of found it by luck. Really, just kind of got into it by luck. But yeah, I'll share that story in a little bit, but that's pretty much briefly about myself.
Yeah, you started, I think, roughly around the same time I did too, but you're like way ahead, so that's great.
Started at the same time, yeah, man.
Yeah. So what did you do before real estate?
Well, like everybody else, came out of college, got a degree, kind of went to the corporate world for a while. Worked there about 4 to 5 years in corporate world. But I was working in the wireless network industry, so more like a cell phone wireless industry.
Yeah. So then you just like decided, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. Or are you still working there, or?
Well, it's kind of a long story. So I worked for a major company, and then kind of left there, and can't remember what year, man. It's been too long. But yeah, so right now I got into entrepreneurship, doing multiple businesses here for the last 12 years. So so that's actually only my real job, really, man. Coming out from college, land that job, worked there for a while, and then just decided to, circumstance, family and things like that just kind of brought me back home. So I was actually working like maybe about 2 hours away.
So you're kind of in that you went to school in North Carolina too, or did you?
I did. I went to school about 2 hours away from home, in a city called Greensboro. So that's where I met my wife too as well. So raised a family there for a little bit, and then got to the point where like it was kind of hard for us just to manage raising a family and balance between work and family. So my parents are back home, so I was like, I figure save on babysitting costs, right, and come back home.
That's true. So you run some business. I mean, you work in corporate America, but you also ran some businesses and stuff like that. So why did you transition? I mean, why did you change to real estate? How did real estate come about for you?
Yeah, well, for me, one thing's led to another. I kind of went into, I started a retail shop, a cell phone shop, and then I kind of went from that to, building an insurance company, and then went from insurance to, a printing company to a online affiliation and to a graphics company. So, and I wasn't even in the music business too myself. So it's like there's multiple business stream that I kind of got into it before real estate.
So you just been doing businesses after businesses.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, man. I guess because I did go to school for business, and so like one of my friends was like, "Hey, man, you're like jack of all trades, right?" And I didn't know what that would mean, right? Yeah. And then I kind of looked it up. I was like, "Jack of all trades." Okay, well, it means like everything, So kind of went from there. Kind of built my business from there, man. And but yeah, man, I kind of fell to real estate by accident, really.
So how did that come about? Like you watch one of the late night shows and you're like, Let's do it.
No, actually, I never watched any prior like cable network TV, like HDTV or anything like that, man. I never got into that until I got into the game, you know. But what led to me and what led to real estate, man, was you know, I uh, I had a lot of fun saved up, man, from all these jobs, right? So like I mentioned to you earlier, I didn't know what to do with it, you know. And then you know, one day my dad was like, you know, you should definitely look into getting a few, you know, houses or duplex, you know.
yeah.
So I was like, never really could look. I haven't even opened up Realtor.com or Zillow. I don't even know what those websites are, man. To be honest with you, at first.
Well,
Right?
now you know. But
Yeah. So yeah,
so
man. So
yeah. Go ahead.
So it's a funny thing because my dad was driving by one day. He was cutting grass and driving by one day and saw the sign out the road for a duplex for sale, right? So he just told me and he was like, hey, why don't you look into it? You know.
Yeah.
So I called the number up. It was for sale by owner. And so I called him up and talked to him. And, you know, at the time, and this is like 5 to 6 years ago, you know, this is when the market wasn't really hot at the moment. You know, it was kind of like coming up again from the recession. You know, so I kind of got it. I called the number, got the guy on the phone, you know, and I didn't know what I was doing, man. And so the guy was asking like 52 grand for it, you know, and he was just trying to get rid of it, you know?
Yeah.
And so, I didn't know anything.
Well, was that your first deal?
Yeah, that was actually my first deal, man. Or my first
so
deal.
your dad just saw like for sale
by owner.
Yep. By owner. And then, you know, you had some money saved up. So you're like, all right, let's get into this. So you called the guy, then what happened?
Yeah, so I called the guy up. He was like, hey, you know, I have like 3 or 4 other people, you know, looking at the place too.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not really a serious buyer out there. And he was like, are you financing or are you going to go straight cash? And, you know, I have some money saved up. So I was like, I cash this thing right now. The guy was like, well, come over. So I went over. So I went over my dad, man. We looked at it and man, I didn't know any better, man. You know, I didn't even pull no comps. I didn't pull no comps. I didn't know what the house is actually valued at, you know? I was such a newbie. All I know is I have 50 grand saved up. And I was like, man, I'm just going to use this 50 grand to do something with it. Right. So kind of got there, man. And the guy was like, hey man, show me the money and it's all yours, you know? And so I was like, all right, cool. It's like 50 grand. So actually he listed for 58. I talked him down to 50. So I was like 50, you know, 50 cash. Cause the other 3 or 4 guys I think was looking at it was going to finance the building. And the building probably need like roughly about under $2,500 worth of work. As far as like, you know, just $2,500 worth of work.
Yeah.
So
wait, 2,500? Like 2 grand.
Yeah, about 2 grand worth of work.
Yeah.
All you have to do is change out the linoleum in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right? And then kind of do some cosmetic paint touch up. That was it.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing wrong with the building.
Yeah. So this was a duplex, right? So I mean, you didn't pull comps or anything like that. How did you know to buy for 50 or like
you know the funny thing, man.
What's going through your head?
Yeah. So the funny thing too is that my dad thought it was a good deal because my uncles, they have duplexes too before that, right?
Yeah.
They were paying about $130,000 for a duplex.
Yeah.
So I have no way of pulling, like during that time, I didn't know nothing about real estate. So I didn't pull no comps. I didn't pull nothing, no numbers, nothing whatsoever.
Yeah.
So the guy was just like, give me 50 grand cash. And then my dad was like, that's a good deal. I was like, how do you know? He's like, cause your uncle paid 130 grand for theirs. $130,000 for their duplex. I'm like, dude, man, that must be some equity in there, right? But at the time, I didn't know anything about equity.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we went there blindly, man. I closed the deal in one day. So
wow, that takes guts, dude.
Yeah, it did, man. At first,
yeah,
it did at first, man. Because honestly, man, either that or I was gonna buy like a house, because I had some money saved up. I was gonna cash a whole house.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, but luckily my dad kind of stopped me. He was like, hey, why don't you, look into a duplex first, before you buying your house. Because, house is a liability, so it's like you go there, you're stuck mortgage for 30 years, so. Yep.
So how did, so if it's 50K, you put like 2K or 3K of work in there. So 53K total. What is the rent for at that time?
Well, at the time, funny thing is that the lady, there's one side vacant, and there's one side the lady was living there, and she was only paying like $550 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. But when I got the building, she moved out.
Uh-huh.
So I had the whole two sides to work for, like,
Yeah.
and then, man, funny thing, man, I put on Craigslist, man, I got like over 200 hits
Oh,
in
yeah.
like probably 2 days, right? But
Wow.
yeah, but the thing was too was that this funny thing was, man, because I didn't know how to screen people at the time, you know, right? Because you got
Yeah,
like 200
yeah, yeah.
applicant, right? I don't know anything about property management, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know how to screen people. Well, I don't
yeah,
know who's good, who's bad, right? I got people coming in there like looking at the building, like, hey, I got X amount of money,
yeah,
I'll pay 2 month rent,
yeah,
straight.
yeah,
I didn't know what to do, man. But luckily, the funny thing is, those two people that I put into that duplex right now are the
yeah.
same people till today.
Oh, wow. You got lucky.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it was by luck, man.
Wow, I
So,
didn't know the rental market was that crazy down there. I don't get like 200, but I get about like 80, 90 every time I put one of my properties for rent. And so
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know that. Yeah, I didn't know that down there that market was that strong.
It
Uh,
is. Well, during that time, I don't know about now.
yeah,
I don't use I don't use Craigslist at the moment now, but
yeah.
I'm using mainly through Marketplace at the moment. So,
Okay. Yeah.
I kind of like lightly screen people through there first,
Yeah.
and then kind of go from
So
there.
how much was it rented for?
Well, original was 550, so
Yeah.
I boot up the rent to 650 per side.
Oh, 650.
Uh huh. Uh
Damn,
huh.
that's like over the 2% rule.
Yeah, way over, man. Because yeah,
This is
and
like this is the killer first deal, man. Your first deal. Well, I mean, you had the cash to begin with,
yeah,
but
the lucky thing too is that like I didn't have to do a lot of work. Like
yeah,
I think the major things that I've done, the only thing that I've probably done with the place so far is repair a upgrade a panel, like one of the other side of the unit. They had like
uh,
those old fuse electrical meter
uh-huh,
panel.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, that's the only thing. That's like the only upgrade that I did. It was which dropped me like another like $2,400 to
yeah,
upgrade the
yeah,
panel.
yeah,
But that was like one of the only thing that the major thing that I've done so far there. But knock on
yeah.
wood, I don't want anything to happen after it's mentioned this. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
man.
you'll be fine.
Yeah, man.
Well,
But mhm.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's a first great deal. I mean, that's a great first deal that you had. Most people would be scared to do that, but I think just in terms of, I guess you've been running businesses and stuff like that, and you prepared yourself, right? You had that initial cash,
Yeah.
um, which you could still have done that deal without any cash if you were to
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
bring someone to help, but because that's a really good deal. But so where are you now in terms of your portfolio? When you started
Portfolio-
about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Portfolio wise, right now,
Yeah.
as far as unit wise, I have a 52 units
Uh
at the
huh.
moment. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, counting that 19 units, 52
Yeah.
units total.
Uh.
But yeah, kind of luck, but kind of went in there by luck. Kind of got
Yeah.
that first deal. I think honestly, man, I think if that first deal went bad for me, I didn't think I was going to be in the game this long. To be honest with you, yeah, because I mean, like, I guess because like what you said earlier, like because I've been in so many businesses, so
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I kind of I like that risk, like
Yeah.
kind of going to like a taking that risk, that
Yeah.
next step,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah.
I think even if that deal didn't go well, I think you would still continue, man.
Nah, man, I don't know.
Even all
Honestly,
this
man, I
stuff.
don't know. I mean, I never see like I'm fortunate enough to where like all my businesses, I haven't, I didn't drop a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like yeah, now if you're losing like the 50 grand, that's nothing compared to other people. But
Yeah.
starting out, if you lose like 50K out the bat, I mean, that's a lot of money for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that would scare me away from real estate investing.
Yeah.
But
Well.
yeah,
Well, we're glad it worked out for you because you got a
thanks, man.
bunch more now. All right, so let's talk about today's topic. I mean,
Sure.
today's topic, um, it's about your 19 units, right? So how did you find this 19 units that we're gonna be talking about?
Yeah, funny thing, man, is you know how everything's by luck, right? So like for me, man, everything kind of fell through by luck. But
Yeah.
I saw this listing on the MLS like 2 years ago, like before I purchased the building. It
Uh-huh.
was like 2 years ago. It was listed on MLS, and then
Yeah.
one day I woke up and I was like, man, it would be a cool deal if I add 19 units to my portfolio.
Yeah.
But what happened was it got pulled, so it got pulled from the MLS,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
like I think it was on there for like maybe 10 days, and then so I was like, oh man. it wasn't my luck. Probably somebody got in there and just
Yeah,
purchased it.
bought it. Yeah.
Yeah, bought it, right, and it just disappeared. And then maybe I said maybe like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks later, I got on Craigslist, and it was on Craigslist.
Yeah.
So I was like, whoa, this is the same building that I saw in MLS like 2.5 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
happened, So I called the lady up. I called the number, and the lady picked up, and she was actually the owner of the building.
Uh-huh.
And supposedly her and her husband was actually going through a divorce. And so
Oh,
they're going through like a really, like a, bad financial
yeah.
divorce, right?
Yeah.
Separation. So she was like, hey, I'm selling this, and, looking for investors, either investors or, whoever want to take over the building. So
Yeah.
she sent me their numbers and everything, and, everything looks good on paper.
Uh,
But man, when I went over to whenever she showed me the building, man, it needed like at least 70 to 80K worth of work.
yeah, yeah.
So I was like, man, but as far as like pulling comps and stuff, it was way better than the number I expected.
Yeah, yeah.
She had all 19 unit rented out.
Uh-huh.
But I'll get to it in a little bit as far as like what kind of people that was in the building. But but yeah,
So,
all 19 units was rented out.
yeah, yeah. So why
Yeah.
did you even before that, what is it that why did you transition to like because I mean 5+ units, this is
Mhm,
considered commercial. So why did you started with the duplex.
mhm.
How did you transition to that 19 unit?
Well, I went from a duplex to single homes to
Yeah,
triplex to quadplexes to single
yeah,
homes.
yeah,
So it's like so I was actually building my portfolio slowly at a time,
yeah,
and so like so the cash that I got from these places, I was able to save cash on the side, reserves on the side, things like that. But
uh-huh,
it kind of took me a while. I didn't jump from a duplex straight to a 19 unit. That would
yeah,
be like a big challenge for me. But I kind of went. I kind of went year by year. I kind of went from like single home to
hmm,
single family homes to like duplexes to
okay,
triplexes, things
okay.
like that.
So did
And
you
then,
just want it to scale? Is that why you don't want to do another single and you just you're ready
right,
for
right.
yeah,
Well, I got to the point too right now. During that time, I got to the point where like a lot of my liquid assets was already tied up into these houses.
uh-huh,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because about 60%. See, one thing that I would have if I would have done differently if I had a chance to go back was leverage my money.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, but I didn't leverage my money. I was just buying things cash. I
yeah,
was, I
yeah,
was buying things cash because my mindset at the time was cash it so you don't have no mortgage.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like even
And
if
you
the
get
rent
the whole cash flow.
exactly like
Yeah,
even if there's no renter there,
yeah,
anybody leasing you're not you don't have to fork out money to pay the mortgage, right? So like
yeah, yeah.
I think I only had like two building that I financed during that time before I purchased the 19 unit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Man, were you listening to a lot of Dave Ramsey or
actually, not really, man. I guess I was just brought up that way, like during the time I
uh,
was brought up that way where like, debt is bad,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
now I learn there's good debt and there's bad debt.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah.
It's a
So
learning process. So
exactly.
how much did the lady list the 19 unit for and how much did you end up
She
purchasing it
originally
for?
had it for 600,000.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 600,000. But we negotiated down to 580,000.
Uh-huh.
So the purchase price that I got it was 580,000.
Okay.
I had to put like a good 60, 70K back in there for renovations, but this is like
Uh-huh.
over time. But
Yeah, yeah.
um, but at the time, see, the funny thing was that the funds that she got from the building, the cash flow that she got from the building,
Yeah.
she wasn't paying her taxes. She wasn't fixing people's faucets, people's
Yeah.
bathrooms.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, you got a major like problem in that building.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
So there's a lot of like deferred maintenance
correct.
that need to be taken care of.
Yeah, because
And
everything every money she made from that, because she cash flow about 10 grand a month.
yeah.
Okay, and so all that money went straight to her pocket.
Yeah.
She wasn't paying her tax. She was behind 5 years of taxes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. So so basically, when we closed on that building too, like
Yeah.
honestly, she didn't come away with a lot of money because they had to back pay her taxes.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
she had a
Yeah.
lot of outstanding debt that she had to
Yeah.
pay.
Yeah.
Like the lawn maintenance guy, man, she was backed up for like 2 years, dude.
Oh,
So
so
like,
so did you pay for those or did she end up paying for those?
no, she did. She did.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She did. Yeah,
Okay.
I made it a priority whenever we closed. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
you know,
So then how did you fund this deal? Did you pay 580 cash like all your other
no, man,
properties?
no. I wish I could, man. I wish I could. No, no. What happened to was I'm not sure you heard the term subject to.
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
So,
well,
but explain that a little bit for
okay,
everybody.
all
Yeah.
right. So subject to is kind of
Yeah. Uh-huh.
sure. Subject to is a little bit different from owner financing.
Yeah.
So basically, if she would have paid off the building, I could have owner financed through her.
Yeah.
But in this case here, she had an outstanding mortgage on her with her lender. So
Yeah.
what we did was we did a subject to, which
Uh-huh.
a subject to is pretty much I'm overtaking her
Existing
payment,
mortgage.
her
Yeah.
interest in mortgage. She
Hmm.
had a for a commercial building, she had a 5% interest rate, which is
Yeah.
really good
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
for
That's really
commercial,
good.
right?
Yep.
So she had a 5% lockdown interest on that for 30 years. Her mortgage was about $2,400 a month. So
Yeah.
at the time, right? So like at the time, I was like, man, that's not a bad deal because gross rent was like about 12 to 13,000 a month.
Yeah.
So I was like, after expenses and everything like that, you can easily cash flow anywhere from 9 to 10 grand a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
That property alone.
So when you did the subject to, first of all, is the lender okay with this, or did you guys have to get the lender involved? Her
Yeah.
original lender.
So basically, I was telling you, she was behind about 5 months
Yeah.
and rent. So she was backed up five months in mortgage payment.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So apparently, I think they gave her like probably till the end of the year to either take care of the mortgage or it's gonna foreclose
Yeah.
to a short
Yeah.
sale. And
Yep.
basically, she ran the idea to our lender, and
Hmm.
so the lender agreed that if she took care of all her 5 months past balance due,
Yeah.
then but at the same time, I didn't have to use my credit,
Yeah.
so basically we just had to sign I forgot what that form is called. To be honest with you, it's a form to where like uh, she's switching her her liability to me,
Yeah.
technically,
Yeah.
to my
So,
LLC.
oh,
Okay.
yeah. So did the lender have to kind of like do credit checks or anything on you or
No, no,
oh
no,
really?
no,
Wow.
no. Yeah. So basically, I don't know how she did it. Do you want to
Yeah.
see? Because I know for sure she didn't add me to a partnership because she did have it the place under an LLC.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I never asked her about this. But when we did the paperwork, I remember just signing one sheet of paper saying that I'm taking over her payment.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but all the title, all the everything had to be switched over to my LLC now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
instead of her LLC, now it's on my LLC.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So
Right.
you put a entity together and then
Right.
or an existing entity and you put it
Right.
under there. Wow, that's yeah, subject to. We discussed that
Hmm.
in a few episodes back, but
Hmm.
most of the time we use it for single family and
Hmm.
for residential, and
Hmm.
then now you're saying you could use it
Hmm.
for commercial properties too. So that's great.
Right. Right.
So then how much did you end up like out of pocket for this
Out of
deal?
pocket.
Yeah.
Out of pocket. I think I spent like roughly about $116,000 down.
Uh-huh.
I took $116,000 equity from one of my triplex units.
Oh, okay.
So I refinanced that
Yeah.
triplex unit that I paid off,
Oh,
the triplex unit I paid was about 85K.
yeah, yeah.
So I had like a full equity in there.
Yep.
But the house was worth, the triplex was worth over 170K. So I took 80% of
Yeah.
the value from that.
Yeah, so basically you use like equity from your existing home already or
Hmm.
existing property. So really you didn't come up with new money out of pocket for this
Yeah.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah, not really, because I was
Uh,
working actually. I was working with my bank at the time to fork that money out from the triplex over
yeah,
to
yeah. Yep.
that unit. So basically, what they did was they sent an appraiser out there, got
Yeah.
appraisal for that triplex, and
Yep.
then what they did was they just wrote me a check, man. They just wrote me a check and says, hey,
Yeah.
this is what you need, right? So
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
that check to the closing. That's it.
Oh, man, that's great. But
Yeah.
it came with all the preparation that you had done in the past,
Hmm. Hmm.
with starting your first duplex and then building your
Hmm.
portfolio. So
Right.
so that's great.
Right.
So in this deal, how did you even come up with the idea of subject to, or have you been learning and then this is a strategy that you kind of bring to the seller, or did she bring that to you? How did that come about?
Well, at the time, she wanted, because she even asked, she was like, hey, if you can put a 20% down, you
Yeah,
know, and finance the bank.
yeah,
But at the time, I was like, there's no way that the bank will finance this building because in
yeah,
the condition it was in, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
because
yep,
it needed a lot of maintenance. And so I told her that's what I was kind of using that as my advantage too.
yeah, yeah,
So where I was like, hey, I didn't even go to the bank to get to ask for this money, but I kind of went to her and says, hey, I went to the bank
uh-huh,
and they said they can't finance this building because in the condition it is.
yeah.
But basically, I was kind of bluffing her.
Well,
I
if
was
you
kind
would
of,
have gone to the bank, they're not gonna
I wasn't
finance
even
it
going. Yeah,
anyways.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, right. So,
So you gotta get a bridge loan for this.
right. So I kind of
Yeah,
just kind of bluffed her and said, hey, I can't. There's no way I'm gonna get a loan for this,
yeah,
in this
yeah,
condition. So I was like, but there's other ways that maybe you can finance. Can you do owner finance for me?
yeah,
And then she goes, and then I remember she saying, so, well, I really need the 20% down,
yeah,
because she needed the money because she's going through like a separation or whatever, and she needed the
yeah,
finance. She wanted to kind of just get rid of the building.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the thing was that why she took my offer was I went single. Like I was like by myself.
Uh-huh.
Other people that was putting bid on this place
Yeah.
was like really lowballing her, like
Uh-huh.
300K, 350K, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, but see, with these guys, they're going with multiple partners.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
kind of like a partnership going in as a partnership. So she kind of scared her away from this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She was
It's
like,
like and they probably have to take out a bridge loan for this. So
pretty
they
much.
probably put in all the costs and holding fees and everything like
Hmm.
that. And that's probably why they have to give that lowball offer.
Right,
But
right.
but in
Hmm.
your case, since you're by yourself too, you're more efficient as well.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I think that's good. So
Yeah.
uh, so how did you analyze this deal? How did you like? I mean, the first duplex you just went in not really
Hmm.
knowing, but
Hmm.
this one you've done a bunch of other deals. So how do you analyze this deal?
Well, first I pulled the comps on that
Uh,
building, and it was worth more than she was selling it for.
yeah,
Okay, so like at first I was like, it's worth more than 580K.
yeah,
So I was like, $580,000. I'm putting myself into like maybe like a $40,000, $50 worth of repairs, you
uh-huh,
know, and it still be at the same. Like even if I'm keeping the building in 1 or 2 years, I can probably refi the building out, or maybe you know, um, you know, sell it at more than the actual value of the house,
yeah,
of the place. So I kind of went in kind of like that, and but um, I think because with her, she was a motivated seller because she just
yeah,
kind of want to get out because
hmm,
she was back up on taxes, she was back up
yeah,
on a lot of the expenses she has to pay off,
yeah,
and
yeah,
so with that 110 that I put down, she
yeah,
used that toward her expense.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so when you say comps, I mean multifamily commercial properties like this,
Hmm.
they comp differently. So how did you manage your comps? When you say comps, how do you actually like comp that property?
Yeah, well, I kind of look about other places that are similar to that
Uh-huh.
complex around the building, around the
Yeah.
area.
Uh-huh.
Maybe like a at least a 10-mile radius
Mm-hmm.
of that place. See what versus what I have right now versus
Yeah.
what other people is selling or purchase it at. You
Oh,
know,
okay. Yeah.
and everything was in the $500,000, 700, 800K.
Yeah.
You know, so I figured it was a good deal
Yeah. Yeah.
on that.
So what's the what type of class is this property? A, B, C,
I would say
or
probably
what?
like a type C. I would say
Type
probably
C.
like a C. Yeah, like a
Okay.
maybe like a C average, probably type C.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the reason why I said that was because the people that she had in there,
Uh-huh.
um, wasn't the greatest tenants.
Yeah.
But when I went in there, I cleaned house. I went in there and I I
Yeah,
started
so
cleaning house.
yeah, so talk about that. Well, what that whole process. Now you close on the property, right?
Right.
And then
Hmm.
what did you have to do after that? I mean,
Well, yeah. So first thing first, man, I was gonna turn it over to a property management,
uh-huh.
but I talked to a few property management down here, and they walked to the building, and they're like, the average cost is like 8% to 10%, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Both companies I talked to, man, they wanted at least 13 to 15%,
Damn,
just
that's a
because of
lot.
the condition it is in. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
Because this one property manager, man, I don't want to mention by name, but walked in there and he was just like, there's no way we're gonna take this
yeah,
unless it's 15%. It's like
yeah,
15% of the gross rent. That's what he says.
yeah,
And I was like 15%. I never heard that before. I heard 8, 9, 10, but 15%, that's awfully high, right? And
yeah. And I
he was
also
like
thought like apartment complex, you get
a little bit
lower.
discount, right?
Yeah,
Right. So
yeah,
that's what my initial thought was, And
yep,
but he went in there and says 15%. I was like, man, 15%, that's awfully high. He goes, Mr. Lord, do you know how much work we have to do this in this building? I understand, but 15%, And then
yeah,
I didn't blame him because I went to another property management and
uh-huh,
they went in there and they quoted me 12%.
yeah,
I was like, hey, that's better than 3% lower than what the other guy told me, right? 12%.
yeah, yeah. But that's
And
still
then
high.
yeah, and then funny thing is too, I signed a contract.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I
Oh,
signed a contract for 12%. Guess
yeah.
what? A week later, they terminated my contract.
Oh, why?
It's too much work.
Oh, what the? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So they terminate your contract. Then what did you do? You give up, or what happened?
Okay. So what happened was this. So they went in there. So we signed a contract for a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We went in there. I think the property managers just went in there and didn't know what to expect, right? So they went
Yeah.
in there. I guess they're getting calls left and right or whatever, because you know how it is whenever they turn away to a new owner, right? So
Yeah.
everybody's thinking like, because
Yep.
remember the crap that I told you, the tenant, the first owner, the slumlord that was
Yeah.
before me,
Yep.
she didn't fix anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything was trash, man. Like water faucets was leaking, bathroom wasn't working, a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff was working, man. It was really bad in there, man. So I guess they were getting calls like every day,
Yeah.
right? So the property manager's like, man, 12% ain't worth it. Let's just terminate his contract. Yeah, man. So I just
Yeah.
got an email one day, man. I woke up, right? Check my email, right?
Yeah.
I got this email one day, and then the guy was just like, hey, Mr. Lord, call us back as soon as possible when you get this message. I call him
Yeah.
back first thing, and the guy was like, we can't take this contract anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to kind of end it here, but you know, but yeah, and then I just went over there and picked up the keys, man. I just went over there and
Yeah.
picked up the keys, and I was like, man, the hell with it, man. I'll just manage my own place.
Yeah. 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 Well, at least it's a good thing that if they know that they can't do it, they let you know versus like them attempting to do it and they do a
Exactly,
shit job,
exactly. Yeah, shit job. Yep, exactly,
Yeah.
man. So
So that's better.
yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So
So I
you,
went over there.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Go
I went
ahead.
over there. I just grabbed the keys, right? I just grabbed the keys, and I
Yeah.
was like, you know what, man? I just got to build my team. I just got to
Yeah.
build me. I just got to build a good handyman.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I did was I hired a good handyman, and I
Uh-huh.
I put into a so one of the vacant was one of the unit was vacant. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically what I did was I hired a handy guy, a maintenance
Yeah.
guy,
Uh-huh.
put him into a vacant room there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Rent free. I
Yeah.
wasn't charging him rent at all.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, hey man, you know what? He's a guy on disability and SSI,
Mm-hmm.
social benefit, right? So I was like, hey man, you go in there, you
Yeah.
you take all the calls. You take all the calls, you fix all the problems there.
Yeah.
And I'll let you live there for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So basically what I did was I took that vacant unit, put him in there.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So all the calls was coming to him.
Yep.
And then basically that kind of eliminated my problem,
Okay.
because I didn't have to manage it. Everything was reported to him. So he was kind of like a super at that building.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Right. So that's what I did.
Okay. So after that, how did you structure? Where did you even find this guy? How did you even like begin
He
to
was
like
actually
look for
he
a
was actually a
handyman?
friend. He was actually a friend of one of my tenants.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was actually a friend of one of my tenants, a long-term
Uh-huh.
tenants.
Yeah.
And then one day I was over there. I forgot what I was doing over there, man. I was talking to the tenant, and then the guy was like, "Hey, one of my cousins is looking for a place.
Yeah.
And he's a handy guy. He used to work in New Jersey. He used to
Uh-huh.
do maintenance work for a apartment complex and stuff in New Jersey.
Oh, okay. So he had some experience.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so that's
So
why you
he's
let
a
him in.
he's a he's a Puerto Rican guy. He's a Puerto
Yeah.
Rican guy. So
Yeah.
so I was like, man, you know what, man, that's perfect. And then so I talked to him. I was like, hey, I can give you a place to live for free if
Yeah.
you take these calls and you take these maintenance calls.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
man, because before that, man, I was getting 7, 8 calls a day. like this is the low, like a lower end,
Yeah.
you know,
Wow. What
yeah,
did they call about? Just to like repairs or what?
just repairs, man. Just like,
Uh,
hey, man, I can't flush my toilet anymore. My toilet's
yeah,
backed up.
yeah,
And it's just, sometimes it's stupid stuff, man. It's just like a flapper that went wrong.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
but my sink is leaking.
yeah,
Things like that.
yeah, yeah, yep.
So it's one of those like it's like on. So I think I spent like probably like close to $600, man, like that 1 week alone on maintenance.
Uh-huh.
Because I guess because I had no connection to any other specialty guys. So I have to call after hours on Sunday night, Saturday
Yeah,
night.
yeah,
I'll be calling these guys like, hey, one of my tenants' bathrooms not working. Can you go over there? And they'll
yeah,
be
yeah,
charging me like $80 an hour, to
yeah.
fix a flapper, things
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yep.
Crazy, man. So I was like, you know what, man? I can save $600 if I put this guy in this unit,
Yeah,
and have him do all the work for me,
yep, yep. And
So
you help him out too,
yeah,
Now, I mean,
yeah.
he's on SSI, so not having to pay rent, that like alleviates like the majority of his expense,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So you're
Hmm.
helping the guy out at the same time he's helping you out. So
Right.
how did you reposition this property? I'm assuming it's repositioned now, right? I mean,
Yeah,
everything's
it is.
fixed. Yeah. So
Hmm.
how did you begin to start changing, the tenant profile there, and
Hmm.
just how did, after you get the super other guy
Uh-huh.
in there, your handyman, what
Hmm.
happened next? How do you?
Well, the good thing too is that I had like probably I want to say probably 6 or 7 tenants that are under Section 8.
Uh-huh.
Okay, like they're under Section 8 government assistance.
Yeah.
So I already guaranteed that 6 or 7, 8 tenants was already
Yeah.
paying for my mortgage.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
wow, wow. So
right,
your
so that
Section 8 guy is already paying your mortgage.
pretty much paying my
Yeah.
mortgage, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So
Yeah.
I already had like 6 or 7, 8 tenants there that are guaranteed funds every month because
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
it's just
Yep.
depositing money to my bank because
Yeah.
of the Section 8 program
Yep.
they're on. The only thing about that is that you have to meet their criteria. So every year they go into like an inspection. You have
Yep.
to
Yep. Yeah.
that to get approval.
Yeah.
So
I grew up in Section 8 housing. So
mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
every year inspection.
Right, inspection, right. So right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that 6, 7, 8 tenants that I got was covering my mortgage already. My
Yep.
mortgage is 2,400, 24 something. And so the other tenants, which are like I had to like, let go.
Yeah.
There's some tenants I had to like let go because they wasn't too happy about my policy there because when I took over the building, all the rules changed. All
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
lease
Yeah.
agreement changed, everything changed there.
Yeah. They're used to
So
the old policy.
landlord, right?
Yep. Yeah. Landlord. Yep.
So a lot of the people they left on their own terms. They just
Uh-huh.
kind of left on their own terms, or I didn't renew their contract at all. I was just like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? You're a
Yeah.
month to month tenant now.
Yeah.
Because that way, even if I have to take them to court, I don't have to wait X amount of days to take them to court.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because their,
Yeah.
their lease is expired. It's
Yeah.
month to month.
Yep.
So I got rid about probably maybe 70% of the building there, people there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's a big
that's a big
group.
chunk, man. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
chunk. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
But the great thing about that is that all my Section 8 people were staying there, you
Yeah.
know,
Uh-huh.
with like they were happy there, they
Yeah.
were happy there
They're
in Section
probably
8.
happy that you got rid of some of the people they don't like.
Exactly. Yep, yep. So
So
I
that's a
got
good thing
this,
for them.
yeah. So I got the Section 8 people to cover my mortgage, and then
Uh-huh.
I let go about 70% of my tenant,
Uh-huh.
and then I started how to rescreening new tenants coming in there.
So did you do this all in like 1 month, or how did
This
that
is over a
process
year.
go?
This is over a
Oh, okay.
year. Yeah, this is like I would say probably within 6 to 8 month time frame when I got the
Okay.
building.
So let's say like one of the unit, how much were they paying rent at that time? And then since you let them go and you
Mhm.
bring in a new tenant, what's the new rent?
Well, at the time, man, the old landlord she rent all over the place from $400 to $500.
Yeah.
No more than 500. Everything was like in the low 400, 450,
Yeah.
500. That's around
Okay.
there, right? So when I took over, of course, I have to renovate the unit, right? So I
Yeah.
have to go in there, new paint, new flooring, new fixtures. So I put a little bit more money in it,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
way I can up the rent a little bit, right?
Did did
So. Mhm.
did your handyman do this, or did you go do it yourself?
Um, I had hired another. I had to kind of network with another contractors
Yeah, yeah,
to do these because the thing is that he's strictly maintenance guy. Like he
yeah,
can fix the stuff, the smaller stuff, But
Yeah.
as far as like renovation wise, like I had to hire a crew for it.
Okay.
So I had like so kind of worked a deal with this crew. They've done a lot of my apartments in the past, so I figure like, you know what, I made a connection already, a network connection with these company already. So why
Yeah.
not use them? You know, cut
Yep.
me a deal because
Yeah.
it's going to
Yeah.
be a lot more units to renovate.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
And so,
So yeah. Sorry, I cut you
no
earlier,
problem.
but yeah. So how much is it rented for now? After you fix it?
About 600, 650.
Oh, so you
So smaller.
bring from like
Mhm.
400 on the low end to like 650. That's like
Mhm.
a 200,
250 increase.
250,
Yeah,
yeah,
200,
increase.
250. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because I had to, because the thing was, she wasn't making it at that place because she wasn't taking in the places. So
yeah,
she can rent the place for $400. People will go in there no matter what, because
yeah,
this
yeah.
place is not up to par.
Yep, yep.
Uh-huh.
So then what's your net operating income now?
Net wise, about probably a low end 10 to 11 a month.
Oh, so I just wanted to know the value of your property.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The value of the property is about 600. I think last time I paid taxes on it was like 650K.
Yeah, but your NOI is, let's see,
Mhm.
you said like 10K a month NOI?
Net wise, no, well, gross is about 12 to 13 a
Yeah,
month.
okay.
So net wise about maybe like a lower 10.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's say 9.5
Mhm.
times 12. What's the cap rate down there?
What's that?
What's the cap rate down there?
The cap rate?
Yeah,
Like
that
you mean
area.
like the area?
Yeah,
Probably like maybe like a lower 15.
cap rate?
Yeah,
That can't be 15, man.
50%.
No, you'll probably, if it's Class C, it's probably like 8. 15% is too cheap.
You think so?
Yeah, so your value is like 1.3 or 1.4 right now.
1.3, 1.4.
Yeah, time to refi, man.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. But what the good thing is though too. Like the reason why I
Yeah,
haven't really looked into that is
yeah,
because funny thing, man, was about 2 years ago when I bought my house, right?
yeah, yeah,
And I went to the bank and I thought that was going to actually be pulled on my credit, but it actually wasn't.
yeah, yeah,
So which is a good thing because I could have been like 500K in debt right now.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But the thing was that it was subject to, so it was
Yep.
actually on her credit. It wasn't
Yeah,
my credit.
yeah, yeah.
So that thing didn't pull my FICO score down at all. So I was like,
Oh,
wow, I was really surprised,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But I have so much equity in there right now that I was like, you know what, like I was like,
It could,
what?
it's in your entity, so maybe you could do a B lock on it.
Hmm.
Just
Hmm.
a thought. So,
Right,
well,
right.
that's great. So what's the outcome now? Is it stabilized now, and you're
It is.
getting about like $9,000
Yeah, yeah.
cash
It's
flow now?
it's it's stabilized now to a certain point.
Uh-huh.
You just never know who you bring in there.
Yeah.
I got a wonderful tenant that came in there last month, and I
Uh-huh.
had to evict this month. You know,
Oh, okay.
because it's just a matter of I don't know, man. It's just a matter of screening, really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You think they're good, and they come in there, with the deposit and stay in there
yeah,
for 1 month, and then it's like they lose their job or they do something, and then it's like they jeopardize their career over something, and then
yeah,
it's like they can't pay
yeah,
rent. You know.
yeah. Also, you need to keep the place safe for the other
Mhm.
18 people, 18
Exactly.
tenants that are
Exactly.
there.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
what lessons did you learn from this deal? I mean, this is a huge deal. So what lessons did you learn?
Oh man, honestly, man, I learned a lot. I learned to hire the right contractors for sure.
Uh-huh.
That's major one thing because I've been screwed so many times over bad contractors in the past. You
So
know.
it was a good thing the management company said no to you because
Yeah. Yeah.
forces you to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what, man? I was. Funny thing too is that about a month and a half ago, I
Yeah.
got a letter in the mail, and guess who is it from? The
The
same
con
management
the
company that fired my contract.
Oh
The
yeah.
12%, the 12% guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wrote me a letter in the mail and says, "I would like to acquire your property."
Oh. You're like, No, man, don't you even look? We signed a contract together. Dude."
Yeah, yeah. So the funny thing was, I never replied back to that letter. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No,
but
yeah. They just get a listing. That's all. They just blast, mail blast everybody.
no, 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 no. It was his company called me personally.
Oh, oh, yeah,
They sent me a letter in the mail. I never replied back.
yeah.
So they had this secretary call me,
Oh, yeah.
and saying that, hey, I know we dealt with these guys before.
Oh,
Would you
so
guys?
then, yeah.
They're trying to acquire new business because I guess because of all this COVID-19 going on right now,
Yeah, yeah.
people are dropping left and right. So they're
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
acquire more properties.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess
Eh,
they sent me that letter in the mail. I never replied back, and then they
Yeah,
had their secretary call me.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, to see if I can, they can get my business back.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Well, it's okay. It doesn't hurt for them to try, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So what I mean, aside from finding the right contractor, what other lessons did you learn for this deal?
Um, Man, it's a tough task, man. I tell you what, it's just I'll just let you know, man. Like, after you tackling this big project like I did with this 19 unit,
Yeah.
like going back to those single homes and duplex, man, is nothing. Like
Oh, yeah.
nothing. You know.
So you're like, oh, those are easy.
Yeah, those are breeze, man. I tell you
Yeah,
what,
yeah,
because I never done a deal like this before,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I was tackling myself, and man, I grew so many white hairs over the time, man, because of this
Uh-huh.
place. Because I was like, oh man, it's just so tough, man. I learned a
Yeah,
lot, man. Honestly, I learned that I think my major setback on this deal was kind of go in there. If I would have went in there with a partner,
yeah,
some sort of uh, some sort of mindset of having the right people working with me there,
yeah, yeah.
would have been a lot easier.
Uh-huh.
But I kind of went in there alone. I kind of
Yeah,
went in
yeah,
there alone, kind of tackled this project alone.
yeah, yeah,
And but yeah, man, I'm pretty happy with the outcome. Just
yeah,
right now, I'm still acquiring the building and probably pretty soon put it under management again because
yeah, yeah,
I just felt like this is a really tough task to handle. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. So how long ago was this property? I mean, how long has it been since you bought it?
3 years in August.
3 years? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so coming August is 3 years.
So you had it for a while. Are the white hairs worth it? I mean,
Oh man, I think it is. I think it is, man. I think it
yeah,
is. I can't complain, because I think what it is um, I'm still trying to build my portfolio at the same time.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
so I think with this income stream coming in, it
yeah,
helps a lot to kind of
yeah,
keep investing.
yeah, yeah,
Like you and I talked about before, if I decided to kind of get out of the game,
yeah.
it's not worth it anymore. Kind of just cash out and go on. But
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Yeah, well, I mean, that's great that you probably learn. I mean, we could probably do another show just to talk about all the lessons that you learned. I'm
hmm
sure you learned a bunch.
hmm
Um, but I mean, you got through it, and so this is gonna be something that's gonna continue to build your
yeah, for sure.
portfolios in the future.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're already at the hour.
Okay.
So I'm gonna probably ask some questions that some people have,
Okay.
and
Yeah. Sure.
then later, if they want more details about your deals, they could
Yeah.
just let me know, and then maybe you'll come back on
Yeah. For sure.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let me see. Yeah, we're at the hours. If you guys want, go ahead and type your questions in the Facebook live stream. If you're watching this later on YouTube, go ahead and leave any comments, and then I'll get that to Fong, or we'll try to answer those questions. Okay. And then let me see. There's some questions beforehand. I'll start with the questions that some
hmm
people ask ahead of time.
Okay.
And then again, you guys go ahead and leave any questions that you guys have, and I'll ask Phone those questions. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let
Go
me
ahead.
see. Okay, let me ask those questions. Um, let me see. Uh, Sorry. Let me see. Oh, so I mean, we kind of answered these questions already, but uh, Chu, uh, Chuku says, was this a syndication or did you buy it yourself?
I'll purchase myself.
Yeah. So you put your down payment yourself.
Mhm.
This pretty much just by yourself. Is
Right.
your
Right.
wife involved with you in these decisions, or just you? And
Well, my wife too as well. I forgot to mention, but she's actually a realtor as well.
oh,
So
okay.
yeah, she's a real estate broker as well. And so but yeah, she's pretty much the backbone of everything else as well. So
Oh,
as far as decision making,
yeah, yeah.
but she's more toward like the traditional realtor side. I'm more like the investor side. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how she got into real estate too at first, though, because because I was like, man, why am I paying commission to these realtors, when my wife can become a home realtor,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and she went and got her license and I start buying stuff under her on the
Yeah.
MLS,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm just surprised. I mean, let me see. Well, I'll just ask the other questions. Chinu said, how did you get started? Baby steps, or did you cash out your 19 units? So you kind of explained that already, but
Mhm.
if someone were to get started, I mean, with all the different lessons that you learn now, if
Mhm.
someone were to get started right now, what would you say? Like maybe Chinu want to get started.
You talking about like for like beginner investors?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say first off, do some research, leverage your money.
Uh-huh.
I think that would be the most important thing. Um,
Okay.
if I could do it all over again, I would definitely leverage my money.
Yeah. Yeah. You would have been at
Probably,
500 units versus
yeah, pretty
52
much, right?
units.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, right? Yeah, so, yeah, and I thought about it, man. After reading all these, listening to these podcasts like Bigger Pockets and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you know how like they always talking about leveraging your money, right?
Yeah.
So, but being a, because I wasn't honestly, I kind of went in there blindly. I didn't
Yeah. Yeah.
really take any read books or listen to podcasts or things like that. I just kind of went there blindly, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's the reason why I was like, man, if I can cash this out, I can just cash it out. I can, I
Yeah.
kind of went in there that mentality, so
Yep.
instead of leveraging money.
Yeah, yeah. Leverage the money, leverage it correctly. So don't over
Correct.
leverage
Yep.
or take stupid and bad debts. So
hmm
make sure you get good debts on your
hmm
properties. Let's see. Baltel asks, what year did you buy your duplex? I guess your first duplex.
Oh, the first duplex.
Yeah,
This was in end of 2014.
2014.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
close to November 2014 around there. I
yeah.
remember.
Then
hmm
that's a good time to jump in. That's when the
hmm
prices are still good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. hmm
So let me see. Solomon Yang said, "I know this guy." So I think Solomon is down there with you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep. I
All
actually just
right.
got a deal from him about 2 months ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Uh, him and his partner, they're gonna be on the show next week. So
Cool. Fuji,
yeah,
him and
yeah,
Fuji.
Fuji. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me see. How do you count the apartment? We answered that already. Let me see. Um, oh, what's the average rent? Or I guess what's the average rent down there?
Average rent
Yeah.
depends on how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms.
So let's do like a 2-1, a 2 bed,
Two
1
one.
bath. Yeah.
Average rent right now depends on the location, but you're looking at probably like you'd be lucky with the low 500 to 750 right now
Okay.
for 2 bedroom,
2 bed. And then what
depending on
about the
location.
threes? Yeah.
Threes, you're looking probably a low 600 to 1100 $1,200.
Oh, it's still not bad.
It's not
And then
bad. Yep.
what's sort of like the price range for like let's say like a 3 bed, 2 bath house down there?
Price range right now
Yeah.
in what, class B, class C?
Yeah. C, B
Okay.
minus. Yeah.
I would say probably 160, 170.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
still not bad.
Mhm.
Yeah. So not 50,000 like you bought anymore,
No, not anymore, man. Not anymore, man. I wish, bro. I wish
huh?
it's like that.
Yeah. All right. Chai Xiong asks, what's the most common thing that always needs attention in multifamily?
Most common things.
Or what's taking that 19 unit
Mhm,
aside after you reposition it
mhm.
now? What's the thing that takes your attention?
Um, honestly, man, it's kind of hard to say. I would say probably the small details, like
Uh-huh.
just small stuff that you never aware of. Like just like maybe 2 months ago, I had like a sprinkler problem there.
Uh-huh.
Somebody smoked and they smoke in the bathroom and set up a sprinkler issue.
Yeah.
Things
Yeah.
like that. It's just small, minor stuff. Like,
Okay.
yeah. But I haven't really have a whole lot of major issue. It depends on when plumbing is updated,
Yeah.
when's electrical is updated, things like that.
Okay.
But just the small, minor details, man. Just small stuff like that.
So
You
right
know,
now, most of those calls goes to your handyman
maintenance guy,
now, right?
right?
Your main
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
And then when is it that how do you structure for him to call you? Like when is it that he needs to call you?
anything major, like, anything major, like needs repair. Like about 6 to 8 months ago, we had to repair a dormer, which
Uh-huh.
had a leak in the building.
Okay.
So it was like a major leak in the building when there's like a heavy thunderstorm, rainstorms, things like that. So we had to fix that dormer.
Uh-huh.
And so it's one of those things where like big repairs that needs to be
Yeah.
done. Yeah, like
Okay.
broken windows or thing like that. Yeah. Mhm.
Yep. Let me see. David Lee Tao said, so you're managing the duplex by yourself at this point? Or
Yes,
you okay.
yes. All my properties I'm self managing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And pretty soon you're gonna have to find a better property manager, not those other guys that charge you.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Yeah, yeah. I think that's my future goal, man. Honestly, I'm probably going to let go a few to property management.
Yeah,
Kind
yeah,
of eat some relief, some stresses for me, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
'Cause,
yeah,
right now, I'm running too many businesses at the side, so it's like it's getting me really overwhelming at the same time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Let me see. Gene Vang asks, so I guess he wants to know where you're at. I think we said that at the beginning, but maybe you could kind of clarify which area you're at and sort of which market all your
Sure.
properties are at.
Yeah. Well, I live in Hickory, North Carolina. It's like the
Uh-huh.
west part of North Carolina. It's like north of Charlotte. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, we're in a little boony town here. It's not really a college city like Charlotte or things like that, but we're
Yeah.
more like a centralized location for Hmong people here
Uh-huh.
in the area. Mhm.
Wait, are there a lot of Hmong people there?
Yeah, yeah. This is the majority of the Hmong people population here. Yep,
Oh,
yep.
man,
That's
I
where
gotta
the
come
Hickory.
visit you guys.
Yeah, man, got to come down, man. This is yeah, yeah. There's a lot of business coming up. A
Yeah.
lot more Hmong business coming up here.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah, man. So definitely come visit us down here. Yeah.
Yeah. I have some in-laws in the Charlotte. I mean, I told you
Oh,
that
you do? Okay.
area,
The
but
in-laws. Okay. Okay.
yeah. But
Okay.
maybe I'll come visit them, then drive up to see you guys up there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay. Let me see. Maybe one last question. Or maybe a few more. Key Van asks, would you 1031 your 19 unit into future, I guess, apartment deals, 100 plus units?
Uh,
Have you thought about
yeah,
1031? Yeah.
yeah, man. To be honest with you, that'd be awesome. But I never thought about that yet at the moment.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I was even, like I said earlier, I wasn't even thinking about refinancing, but considering the fact that, I didn't want to, I'm doing a subject to right now. So it's like, I don't
Yeah.
want to take everything under my name, and
Yeah.
kind of, cause it's all, debt to ratio is like the number one thing here now,
Yeah.
with bank lenders, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so you don't want too much
Yeah.
debt to ratio income on your record. So
Yeah.
that's the hard part to get a loan.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely have options with those.
Hmm.
So let me see. How does Kevin ask again? How does depreciation work on apartment complexes? Uh, 5 units and more versus like the 4 units. Have you done any cost segregation?
Hmm. I've
Oh,
not.
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Key, they're kind of the same.
Okay.
It's just that it's more efficient for the multifamily, the larger complexes.
Okay.
That's all. But I mean, that's really a question for a CPA. So
Hmm.
maybe you should
Right.
ask your CPA too,
Mhm.
Key.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that I think Chai did
Mhm.
cost. Chai Xiong.
Mhm.
He's the founder of the Facebook group. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think he done a cost segregation before. So maybe
Okay.
you could message him if you want to know about cost segregation.
Okay.
All right, so I think that's all the questions we have from the group, and
All
then
right.
I'll just ask you a few more questions. We already passed the hour, so I don't want to keep it too long
No,
too.
you're good,
But
man. You're good.
yeah, okay, so let's see. So then now that you got 52 units, what are your plans for the future? Another 52 next year or what?
Oh man. Honestly, man, I wish I can quit. I wish I can
Uh-huh.
quit and stop because like I said, I have like probably beside the 19 unit, I have like probably like maybe two. I'd say 2 to 3 properties right now that's still under financing right now.
Uh-huh.
Probably planning on paying off in the next 2 or 3 years.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, it should be clear and free. Other
Yeah.
than the 19 unit.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
kind of want to stop here, but at the same time, when you start seeing good deals, you can't really stop. So
Yeah.
it's almost like you're so motivated to kind of hop onto the next deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got
You
two
know,
rehab. You know, yeah,
Yeah, on top of that, like that 19 unit example, you really turned that around for the community that lives there, you know.
hmm
So like to
hmm
me, it's a good thing that you were able to purchase it. If you
right.
didn't, you know, that's gonna be another slumlord might pick that up and
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what you know, because I did talk to a few code enforcers, like
yeah,
code enforcement
yeah,
officers, and you know, before you know, when I took over the building, and they're like, you know, they're very grateful that someone took it and kind of turned it around, you know,
yeah, yeah,
because you know, honestly, man, you have to have a lot of reserve to do that kind of
yeah,
business,
yeah,
because you know nobody would just pick it up. I mean, for the cash flow, people will pick it up, you
yeah,
know. If they're like, hey, you know, I can make 11 grand easily a month cash flow,
yeah,
anybody will pick it up. But the
yeah,
thing is that, you see, for me, I can't imagine seeing myself living in something that people don't want to live in. Like
yeah,
I can't have
yeah,
people living places that I wouldn't live in. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, I wouldn't
yeah,
live in. So
yeah,
I tend to go in there and kind of fix up the property, you know, how I would live in there and things like
yeah,
that, and turn it around. So, and
yeah,
it adds more value to the building to itself, you know.
yeah, yeah. So that's great. Um, so then again, you're gonna quit next year, or what are your plans?
I might, man. I need somebody to inherit my. Yeah, man. Like I said, I have two rehab going on at the moment,
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah,
rehabbing two places at the moment as well.
yeah,
So,
yeah. You're not
um,
gonna quit, man. You keep
I
going.
can't, man. It's in the blood. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't quit, man. It's just it's addictive, man. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, but definitely, I'll try to see if, you know, like I said, I'm trying to scale down a little bit this year. You know,
Uh-huh.
try to focus more on family this year.
Yeah, yeah,
And not work too hard.
yeah.
But yeah, but when the right deal comes around, you know, you
Yeah.
can't really turn away from it. You know.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's true.
yeah.
So, I mean, we talked about this a little bit, but what are your recommendations for someone that's starting out? Earlier, you said,
hmm
you know, maybe leverage their money,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
what else do you recommend someone brand new right now watching the show? They're like,
hmm
okay, I want to get started,
hmm
but maybe I don't have 50K, or
hmm
like you did, or maybe I do
Right.
have 50K.
Right.
Well, what would you recommend them to do?
I would definitely read a lot of books and podcasts. Try to learn as
Uh-huh.
much as you can. You know,
Yeah,
because right now there's so many resources out there, man, and you know, you want to kind of get tips and advice from people that's done it. You know, like
yeah,
looking into deals like podcasts, like listen to podcasts,
yeah,
things like that. Study more, read more
yeah,
books, definitely,
yeah,
and not only focus on listings on MLS, but kind of, you know, drive around, talk to owners, there's a lot of for sale by owners.
yeah,
Um, you know, if you go on a Zillow, you know, there's a lot of for sale by owners there. Kind of talk to them personally, you know,
yeah,
and work with wholesalers, you know,
yeah,
talk to wholesalers. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I know that you had a few wholesalers on your podcast before, but
yeah,
you know, for me, I'm not a wholesaler. So, you know, like I said, but the last 6 deals that I've done is with wholesalers, you know,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's that's the number one key thing, because you can't find these good deals on the MLS all the time now. There's no
yeah,
way,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah,
So I think my number one advice is just kind of, you know, network, um, network with wholesalers in the
yeah.
area, and where mainly where the area that you want to invest in, really, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, on that.
for, for
hmm
sure. Yeah, a lot of my deals come from wholesalers too. I
Yeah,
mean, they
yeah,
spend the time to go look at the deals, you
yep,
know, and
hmm
so and they're not equipped to really rehab. I mean, most of them aren't equipped to rehab, but they're
hmm
equipped to market and find the deals. So you might as well
exactly,
work with them. Yeah,
exactly. Yep.
yeah. All right. What else do you do other than real estate? I know you do real estate all the time, but you must have 1 or 2 hours that you don't do real estate.
Yeah, man. I like I said, I have multiple businesses here. So
Uh huh.
I do. I'm a tax guy during tax season. So I do
Uh huh.
taxes.
Uh huh.
I have a tax firm. I have an insurance firm. We do you know, property casualty for homes and cars and things like that. Auto.
Uh huh.
Um,
Okay.
then my wife, she's a realtor, so we do,
Yeah.
you know, sell homes, buy homes on the side as
Yeah.
well. I have a telecommunication company here that we do a lot of the cell phone operating from there
Yeah.
as well. And then have a graphics and printing company or two as well. So
God damn, dude. I thought I do a lot. After hearing you, I'm like, oh, damn, I gotta get my game back on.
yeah, man. So yeah,
Uh,
so I have a few things going on. So
yeah,
staying
yeah.
pretty busy, man. Yeah,
Yeah, just a few things. Just a
yeah.
few
Just a
things.
few things. Just a few things. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Aside from doing all your businesses, what do you like to do for fun?
I don't know, man. Like I said, right now, really, nothing really, man. Just too busy,
Uh-huh.
But I love, I love playing music. Music
Yeah.
is in my blood too as well. So music is
Uh-huh.
in my blood, and but other than that, man, it's just trying to find time with my family.
Yeah.
That's about it, man. And especially in this real estate game, it's so hard to delegate that time with your family. But I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
there will be a certain point where you just kind of, stop and just live life.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
everything's kind of pay off and
Yeah.
turn it over to the right people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things like that.
And it's great that your wife is in the industry too. So you
Hmm.
guys are,
Hmm.
or that's how I try to manage my team, right? Like I get my wife involved
Hmm.
in everything too, so that we see each other.
Right.
If
Exactly.
not,
Exactly.
then I'm gonna be doing all my real estate stuff, and we're not gonna see each other at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Fortunately, my wife. Yeah, I see my wife every day because we work in the same office.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We have our own building here, own office. So we see
Uh-huh.
each other every day. So
Yeah.
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 So
So
yeah. Hmm.
so that's great. All right. What I mean, you said to read books earlier. So what are some books that you might recommend? Maybe like a business book, and then maybe after that, a real estate book.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you earlier, I don't really read a whole lot of books, man. But I think one book that really caught my attention was ABCs to Real Estate Investing.
Uh-huh.
I think
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard of that one there. That
Yeah,
one's
I
pretty.
heard. It's
Yeah.
been on my reading list, but I haven't read it yet.
Oh yeah, yeah. That one's a good one.
Is
Um,
it Ken
yeah,
McElroy or
yeah.
yeah?
You're right. Yeah. And Rich Dad Poor Dad. I
Yeah.
think that's one thing that I would definitely recommend everybody. It's a great how to say it's a great high school gift. Like a high
Yeah.
school uh, gift
Yep. Yep.
for young investors and
Yeah.
young business minded people.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely that book will change you. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. A
For
lot of the
everybody.
people that come on the show say that too.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah.
Exactly, man.
Yep.
So yeah, but I would definitely. And then I just finished reading Brandon Turner's book, the new one. I forgot the name of it.
Oh, which one?
The second one he wrote. I can't remember. I have to pull it up.
I think he had like 3, 4 books now. So he had
I think
like
so. Yeah, yeah. I read the first one, and then I just recently got done with the second one, not too
yeah.
long. Uh,
So he had the A Little No Money Down. He had the rental book. He had the guide. He wrote one with Josh.
that
Uh,
was the one. That was the one. That was
yeah,
the one. Is
with
that the latest one?
with Josh. Yeah,
Yeah, that the latest one.
yeah, yeah. That's the
Yeah, yeah,
latest
yeah.
one.
That
Yeah,
was the one. That was the one.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a
Mhm.
good one. I mean,
Yeah,
that
that
kind of
was
gave you like a encompassing.
exactly, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Hmm.
So that's a good one. Yeah, I like
Hmm.
that one too.
Okay. Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're kind of done with the show. Let me see. Feel free. All right, yeah. They're just asking questions. So,
Okay. Yeah.
what are your? We're done with the show, but what are your final thoughts before we go? And then, if you guys want a phone back, message say, hey, we want to know more about how you put more 19-unit deals together.
Yeah, man. I
And
wish
then,
I can. Yeah, yeah, man. But hey, I just want to say thanks too. Thanks for having
yeah,
me on the show, man. And like I said, it was great networking with you.
yeah,
And I've been on the Mo Investor Forum for a while, but just never had a chance to kind of reply in comments, things like that. But I have
yeah,
been keeping up with the group.
yeah,
Hopefully, when the time is right again, when we have these real estate meetings, I'll
yeah,
definitely like to join you guys on
yeah,
the next
yeah,
one.
for
So,
sure. Yeah,
mhm, on the next one. So, yeah, but
yeah,
keep up the good work too. Like I said, anything, feel free to reach out to me, man. If I can be any assistance to you, or I can, I'll definitely reach out to you
yeah.
too as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Or-
yeah. We're all here to support each other. So, you and I will try to support each other. Hopefully, anybody that's listening, they got something
mhm,
from you today to help support them and build their real estate portfolio as well. So yeah, any final thoughts, and then we'll leave at your final thoughts.
Yeah, that's pretty much I got to say, man. Like I said,
Uh,
just happy investing, and like I said, just keep it up. I'd love to build relationship with a lot of other investors in the country.
yeah.
So especially in our home community.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And then if people want to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
Yeah, they can email me at fonglor@gmail.com, or
Uh-huh.
like I said, you can definitely give me a call or message me on Facebook. I'm always online,
Okay.
but yeah, the best way to reach me is probably through email or a phone call. So
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thanks, Fong, for coming to the Fang Real Estate Show. We'll leave it at that. And then until next time, I'll,
all right,
give you a call
all
or
right.
something.
Thanks,
Thanks a
buddy.
lot, man.
All
I'll
right,
see
man.
you.
All right, you too.